Consider this biology question. The question says the following events take place during conjugation in Spirogyra. So we have the sequence of events from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now the question is now asking us for, say now, what is the correct order in which the above sequence occur? We are to choose from this option. So the truth of the matter is that this question is asking us for the steps involved in reproduction in Spirogyra. You know that Spirogyra can reproduce both sexually and asexually. So Spirogyra reproduce sexually by method of conjugation, but asexually by method of fragmentation. So, but this is not what we want today. Conjugation is what we want. All right. Now, this conjugation occurs. I can summarize the whole steps in conjugation. I can summarize it into like 5 important steps. The first one is alignment. Alignment is the first stage, followed by protuberance formation. Then this leads to conjugation tube. So conjugation tube, I'm going to explain each. So after conjugation tube formation, we now have gamete fusion. And finally, we have what we call zygospore formation. Now, these 5 steps that I have written here are all what they summarize inside this question. So the first one is alignment. So this happens that in alignment, 2 Spirogyra filaments, Spirogyra is a filamentous organism. It's a filamentous, that is, it has a long filament. And each filament is made up of fragments. So this is how a Spirogyra looks. You are going to have different fragments like this. It grows, is a filamentous organism. So this is a fragment, this is another fragment, so it continues like that. Now, alignment means that 2 Spirogyra filaments will come side by side. Let me draw another Spirogyra filament. So this is another Spirogyra filament. They will align with each other. That is, each fragment of this will correspond to the other's fragment of this. So the corresponding fragment will come together. So the next one is protuberance formation. Protuberance is also known as papilla. Papilla. So papilla means an outgrowth coming from each Spirogyra cell. They will grow towards each other. This is what I'm saying. There will be an outgrowth coming from this, and another outgrowth coming from this. This outgrowth is known as protuberance, or you call it papilla. Now, after this, the wall of the papilla will break, and both of them will fuse together, they will combine with each other, they will join together. So after some time, both of them will join together. So the joining together of this papilla is what we call conjugation tube. This tube is what we call conjugation tube. So you can see that I have explained 3 stages. So the next stage is gamete fusion. Now, the protoplasm of this particular fragment, see? So the one that is serving as the male cell. So one of these will serve as the male cell, usually the one on top. So the Spirogyra on top will serve as the male cell. So the protoplasm of this, that is the living cell, the living component of the cell, of this fragment, they are going to move away. They will completely shrink. So the protoplasm will separate from the filament and come down to this place to come and fuse together with the protoplasm of this. So after some time, completely this will be gone. They will now be here. So what we have here now is the fusion of the gametes. So that's what we call gamete fusion. So it means the protoplasm of this will combine with the protoplasm of this, and their nucleus will join together. So nuclei will combine together. Now, after everything, zygospore will form. That is, there will be a wall around the zygote. So a thick wall will be formed around the zygote. So that zygote that has thick wall is known as zygospore. Now, after some time, the zygospore will break the wall of this fragment. So the zygospore will separate from the spirogyra cell. So this zygospore, after some time, will now germinate. So if the condition is favorable, it will germinate to form a new spirogyra cell, a new spirogyra filament. Very good. So now, if you consider these 5 stages that I've explained, you will see that option D is the best. So option D is the correct answer. So if I start with 5, say 5, 4, 1, 3, 2. If I start with number 5, see that they say protuberance appears on the wall of the cell of the two filaments of spirogyra lying side by side opposite one another. You see that they have combined both step 1 and step 2 in this number 5. Good, because they said side by side, that's alignment. Protuberance appear, that's protuberance formation. Thirdly, they said number 4, let's go to number 4. The protuberance meet, and where they touch when they touch the cell wall, the cell wall disappear, so that a conjugation tube joining the two cells is formed. I have explained that. That is, the protuberance, they will grow towards each other, and the cell wall will break, and then the wall of the protuberance will break, and then conjugation tube will form. This is what they are saying for this number 4. So that is, conjugation tube will be formed. So if you go to 1 says the protoplasm of each of the conjugating cells separates from the cell wall to form gamete. The gamete of one filament passes through the conjugation tube to meet the gamete of the other filament. I have explained that the one on top will come to the one at the bottom. I have explained that. That is gamete fusion. So that is what we call gamete. Okay, after that we have 3. 3 says the nuclei of the gamete fuse to form zygote. So I have explained when the nucleus of the two gametes form when they fuse to form gametes, to form zygote. So this is what we call zygote. Then this is gamete fusion. The last one is zygospore, which is 2. Let's go to 2. The zygote soon becomes surrounded by thick brown wall to become zygospore. So I've explained how zygospore is formed, which bursts after a short rest and germinate to produce a new filament. So that means the best option for this is option D. Thank you. God bless you.